Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to a live stream slash recording of Hearthstone. Now, last recording live stream I was sick and I'm still recovering from that. Basically every time I sit up, something like my blood pressure drops or I just get really tired for some other reason. And because of that, and because the last recording was such a horrible mistake, I'm going to now try to be less ambitious here. So still not really going to cover the news, just going to try to have an accelerated experience. If it takes only 30 minutes, good. Apparently I'm going to have to trade out this quest here to get as much gold as possible. So we need to play beasts, we need to play murlocs, and we need to play warrior, and that's not too bad. They're doing a special. If you log in you get 3 packs, so we can start with that and see what these new 3 Journey of Nguru packs are going to be. Now, oddly, this is in combination of the next Tavern Brawl being a wild super Tavern Brawl where you gamble and almost assuredly lose all your money, all your gold. Now, why they're doing a wild Super Tavern Brawl, it's kind of a scary thing there, because that implies that they're might start speeding up the pace of Super Tavern Brawls to the point where we might see one or two every month, and that would certainly drain the pocketbook. So, like the other Wild Tavern Brawls, I see no reason why I'd want to play it. The month has ended. There's really not been the largest amount of news. Here's the new card we'll make favorite. There just has been a few things that... There, I got 70 dust out of 3 decks, which is actually considerably less. But not unsurprising, because they were Journey of Nguru cards and I was missing more of those. So that does kind of make more sense. When you come out of crafting mode, there's one here that we didn't have 2 of before, and now we have 2 of, and one here that we didn't have 2 of that we now have 2 of, and one here. Well, what you didn't get in those 3 card packs, and it would have been really nice if it was, is if the first 2 card packs gave you all the quest things that you needed. You get 5 cards, there's 9 characters. If they had decided to make some good there and correct that mistake, that would have been really nice. Of course, that also would have potentially irritated. Here we can get another 50 dust off that gold card. That's nice. It would potentially irritate a lot of the people that may have spent a lot of money buying card packs when Journey of Nguru came out, to turn around and give the quest cards, which are legendary cards, to everybody else. And that's a good argument against not doing that, but the better argument most definitely would have been for them to have by default given everybody everything. Sorry about that. There's no solving this. We're here. The season went over, so we're at rank 22 on standard and rank 23 on wild, so we can just try to get up to at least rank 20 on everything. Last recording, like I said, and maybe I'm already starting to ramble here, I could barely think straight. I wasn't even trying to talk about things, and I still couldn't even talk. This recording, about 3 days later, it's not that bad, but I am still very exhausted. And in the meantime, I've managed to record 1 episode of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and that's it. And most of that episode was centered around fiddling with the settings, trying to get the game to run a bit smoother. I've looked up a solution that I still need to test that might make it run a little bit smoother. There's definitely some bugs in it. Oddly, I ran into a bug that was very similar to the Mass Effect Andromeda bug, where characters are just talking, but the engine underlying that, where their lips should move when they're talking, crashes, so they're just sitting there with their mouth still. And that's where the T-pose comes from too, is from what I've heard, is that when the engine that is designed to animate whether a character moves their arms or legs or any of the part of their body fails, it just goes back into this default pose, which happens to be that T-pose that is pretty infamous. Let's go ahead and kill this guy. And then end the turn. So I need to play 30 Murlocs, which means this entire deck, right? One game. Well, nope, I won't get it in one game because I have 2 knife jugglers in here. But otherwise, that'll be alright. So, a trailer slash leaked slash was released by IGN slash IGN got the exclusive because IGN always rates things very high. So it came out for Darksiders 3, which is interesting because I just covered Darksiders 1, and now there's this slightly increasing what would you call it, timer to play Darksiders 2. It doesn't seem, from what I've heard, but I haven't been paying too much attention to any of the news lately. It doesn't seem like Darksiders 3 is what it was originally intended to be. Now, I can't really blame the replacement company of THQ that went out of business to follow the concept that was originally set out years and years ago. But originally, they said that the next game was going to include Pestilence and Plague in a co-op adventure that was not exactly like the first game, because the second game was more RPG-ish too, and each of the games are supposed to be slightly different styles of games, which is a terrible way to make a quadrilogy, 4 games. And then it was supposed to be all 4 of the characters playing together in the 4th game. And that was the idea, at least. Now, if they're not doing that, and instead, from what I see in the trailer, only introducing, I believe, Pestilence is the girl, but it could be Plague. Oddly, somebody was calling her Fury, and I was very confused by that because that's not one of the writers of the things of the 4 Horsemen. But maybe there'll be some reason for that too. And they're bringing back the main guy from the first game, and they're making the gameplay, it seems like the first game, which isn't a terrible course correction, and I kind of welcome it because I enjoyed, from what I recall, the first game more than I did the second game, and being more consistent and having a consistent style of gameplay throughout the entire series would be probably a smarter move than being experimental. Like, you're just gonna lose too many people when the games are drastically different. Even BioShock Infinite compared to BioShock, when I look at the way those 2 games play, there's definitely a major difference there that made me feel like I was playing something that wasn't really part of the series, or intended to be part of the series, or should be part of the series. So I'm interested in that. Um, I think there were some other things, but I didn't bother writing it down. In the news, I was sitting here just a few minutes ago thinking, well, I could write the news down, but it would take me about an hour, because it does. It takes at least an hour for me just to write everything on the whiteboard and read it and get it in my head in a relative fresh setup. So not something that I just read the title of a while ago or a week ago or am familiar with, but only in passing. Actually kind of skimming the articles now. I don't go word for word and read the articles because I guess I'm not that good of a journalist, but I try to get the facts out of it. And a lot of the articles too are just announcements of new games coming out, so all I need is what platforms, what day, what's the name of the game, and that's all I really care about. So I know there's been a lot of releases, but other things, not a ton of things. Apparently somebody just left Valve that wrote for Portal, I think, which isn't surprising, and that may be the guy we had already talked about. It's just official now, and see, I haven't even read that article yet because I didn't. I figured, look, I'm sitting here, I'm already starting to feel tired. As soon as I started sitting upright, I should use my energy more efficiently. After I record this stream, I'm just gonna lie back down and sleep again. I've been sleeping an incredibly long amount of time. I've been sick for an incredibly long amount of time. Old age is setting into me. And like, I have no idea how you fix being tired from a cold. This is probably just a cold, but I don't know how you fix that. You just drink a lot of fluids, get a lot of sleep, try to let your immune system fix it, but otherwise there's no special remedy as far as I can tell. And so it's not like I can just drink a 5-hour energy drink or something like that and that would fix it. It's not even a mental alertness tiredness, although I may be so mentally gone in the sickness that I don't even realize that I'm not mentally alert, which is definitely a possibility. It's an actual, like, moving my arms and legs just to move a mouse and such is exhausting.
Put this apple on your head.
So I figured any energy to set up for news I should use here, and that's kind of part of my strategy. Whether it's a good strategy or not is definitely debatable in my channel in general. Is that, yes, I could attempt to do a lot of prep work on videos, a lot of post work on videos. I could I have kind of expanded and tried to look at Wikipedia before I start series just to get some pieces of information, like the date it was released, how old the game is, things like that. But mostly I go in cold. Mostly when I start a new series, I'm completely and totally gonna take forever talking about the settings showing the settings I've decided to record at. On Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, I went from 60 Hertz on the monitor down to 30 Hertz. And just to see if maybe if I limit it to 30 frames per second, it would run smoother than a slightly laggy 60 frames per second target. I've been noticing that there's a significant number of games that even now don't really have the ability or even target going to 60 frames per second. They're still very much targeting 30 frames per second, and I think that's just kind of a sad fact that we're gonna have to live with for a little bit longer. That some games are better off locking in at 30 than they are trying to achieve 60, even when theoretically the equipment that I have and that a lot of PC players have could go that way. It's, I think, still an issue. Right. This one's gotta go. And then this one. And then this one. And since I'm playing Murlocs now, I haven't done anything with the beasts, but playing beasts wouldn't be a big deal. I don't think we're playing anybody today, because I can feel myself already starting to crumble physically. Just so exhausting myself there. I would like these streams to... I've run into this weird thing. And just as some of the bigger people that I follow have figured out that streams are the way to go, at least right now, my streams have had this weird turn of events where things haven't been the greatest. And I suspect it's 50-50. I think I got really lucky when people were free to watch the streams, and then maybe YouTube promoted my first few live streams, and then they decided not to. I will have to say, like, YouTube's suggestion engine, I don't know if I have some kind of analytics opt-in turned off on YouTube or something. I don't think I do, but it is awful. It just suggests to me all kinds of things that I imagine some people like and are extremely popular things, but they are things I would never want to watch. I get all kinds of suggestions for compilations of sports clips, and I would never watch sports clips ever. I've never watched a sports video to my knowledge on YouTube. I would get all kinds of compilation things from compilations of Vines. I've never want to watch that. It's all this clickbait title stuff, and it seems like they just suggest to me the most popular thing that is going right now. All the channels seem to just be like thieves, as best as I can tell. Like, they seem to just be stealing content from somebody else and making compilations with no real commentary, which I don't believe is fair use. And so, like, I find it hard to believe that I've exhausted YouTube's channels to find some interesting things, because then when I look at like related videos of a video I'm actually trying to watch, I do find other things that are interesting. So why can the related video section, you know, on an individual video playback page suggest to me something interesting, whereas your suggested stream on YouTube seems to not show me anything interesting at all. If it's not showing me just complete garbage I'd never watch in a million years, that I keep clicking not interested, not interested, not interested, and it doesn't do anything to it at all, it just keeps coming. then turns around and goes, well, fine, if you don't want to watch what we suggest here, watch something you've already watched. And I'm like, you already know I watched it. That's why you're suggesting it. It's like, suggest to me things that are similar to the things I've already watched. It's ridiculous. That's why I spend almost no time in the suggested feed. And instead watch what I'm subscribed to and watch the top live and the top gaming things and Ninja top videos in general. And very little on the top videos I'm interested in seeing. Hopefully between these two games I've played enough Murlocs to get that one quest done, and then we need to play the Hunter to... Let's see. Is he letting me play? I don't know if I really need to, but I'll take it. Just because I'm not certain on the count, and the last thing I want to do is be one Murloc short.
My shield for Argus.
He's certainly not. Oh, he did play. He is letting me play. Whatever. There's 12 more turns. We'll allow him to do this. Oh, the video streaming over here too. That's stupid. The setup I have is not right. Like when you go to the live stream page on YouTube to stream these things, the video starts playing immediately, and darn it, that was the wrong card. I was thinking it was the one that would have given me the power to summon another 1/1 Murloc. So the live stream page starts streaming immediately. When I, on my phone, bring up the chat, that starts streaming immediately. That's something I was going to look at, but I'm not going to talk about that again because I already stupidly talked about something that probably will never happen. I'm not going to repeat the same mistake twice.
Job's done.
So now I'm just talking to myself and nobody knows what I'm talking about, which is even dumber.
Who knows what secrets will uncover? Well played.
He's got 3 cards left. So if he's well played me, does that mean he's ready to do whatever he was gonna do? Apparently so. Whatever. Didn't seem like he was gonna do anything. Now what is strange here is that I'm playing as my Murloc deck, which usually wins, on a low rank too, and it's still not really helping. So now I need to play 20 beasts with the paladin or warrior. That won't work because warriors don't have any beast decks, and paladin doesn't have any beast decks. So let's start with this. Is this the beast deck or is this the secret beast deck? Quest beast taunt spell, it says, so that implies the first thing it has is the quest, and the next thing it has is the beasts. Yeah, I made the right decision. I can tell. Still, I'm all over the place, and this is getting ridiculous. It's gonna be over a week of just not recording. It's a good thing I didn't try to record Bayonetta. This certainly could have been a lot worse. Because that's exactly what would have happened, honestly. Like, I would have gotten one episode, maybe 2 episodes of Bayonetta recorded and scheduled, been sick for a week, and then just a major interruption at that point. So, I do plan to play Bayonetta, but not yet. May the 4th is about to happen, so I'm gonna probably get some Star Wars games. I need to, however, also buy a battery backup for my computer, because my current one is so old, the battery's so shot, it only has 3 minutes of battery time, and if the power goes below 5 minutes of battery time, it immediately is told to shut down the computer, and 5 minutes is the smallest number. So even if there's only a fraction of a second of a power out or a brownout, it immediately tries to shut down, and this is most definitely what happened.
Job's done.
So, yeah, that battery backup needs to be replaced anyways, because it's just not a high enough wattage for the high-end PC I've got on it. Otherwise, I would just replace the battery and save a little bit of money there.
Cthulhu! Cthulhu! Cthulhu!
And I think there's a couple other things I've had my eye on, non-video game related. So, attack here, and then return. Seems like we'll probably make two recordings unless something happens.
For the wild.
I need to play 20 beasts, and this high cost for these beasts is problematic. And getting this one character well, would reduce that high cost, certainly, if I can succeed at the quest before I die. Otherwise, I might need something else.
My favorite.
For the wild. Job's done.
Oh, somebody's actually here. ACAB. Is that a card? The delays on any backdoor playing is not going to really work that well. So I don't even see ACAB as a... I mean, even if you were saying ACAB, that wouldn't even make sense. So, totally lost there. Don't know what that means. A cob.
Job's done. I am undefeated.
But yeah, it's a constant issue with streamers. I know for a fact of people wanting you to backdoor play, and I guess that's where the whole Twitch Plays series of games works. And I don't mind suggestions at all. It's just that because of the delay and because people are typing things at in shortened phrases, it's not always as prevalent as you would think it is what they're suggesting you do. Let's see.
The menagerie is for guests only.
Was he a beast? No, he was a mech.
Spectacular.
But
By the power of Ragnaros, I have the power!
I may have had a card called the Cobb that I played a long time ago. Is there a card called the Cobb?
Listen closely.
Nope. So, you've lost me.
Job done.
I've been lucky with the news that there hasn't been that much out.
Your nightmare begins.
I think I've lost. There shouldn't be any reason why he doesn't win. Now the problem this is probably going to prove is that I more than likely only played 4 or 5 beasts. Two beasts. So I need to find a different beast deck. In fact, this deck in particular should be considered on the chopping block. That's definitely not a decision I'm going to make while I'm sick, but it doesn't seem like it can satisfy a beast quest, and it probably wouldn't do too much for a taunt quest, and it's only there to play the challenge, the quest card quests. Well, we've been going about 30 minutes, so stay tuned if you're watching live. Otherwise, if you're watching this recorded, as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.